Hello and welcome to Knitrinka, which is my podcast where I talk about yarn and fiber and teaching and all that kind of fun stuff. It is my intention to try and do this every 2 weeks. This week has been a little bit crazy. Today is Monday, January 17th, 2022. And yeah, it's been a crazy week. 2 weeks, lots of knitting, some crochet, which I'm not gonna share today, but I have some finished things that I've done and then some things that I've started to work on. And yeah, so the first thing that I finished were the socks for my daughter, and these look like they're neon, but they're not really. They're and they came out, I think, pretty nice. I think this is the first time I've ever knit a pair of socks that match exactly, so I'm kind of excited. These are turtle pearl in the colorway Rasta. I knit these on 2.5 millimeter needles, which I think is a 1.5 in US sizes. Let's see, I did 64 stitches toe up. And so yeah, that is how I knit these. The thing about turtle pearl that's kind of nice is that there are 2 different skeins. So, and they are wound exactly the same. And so I really thought that was cool, and I have a bunch of mustache yarn that I would also like to try that with. The second thing that I worked on, which was not I hadn't started this the last podcast, but I made these gloves for my mom. She fell a while back, and she's got some kind of crazy hardware in her wrist, so she needs something to sort of help keep her hands warm. And I made her a pair out of wool and alpaca. It was called Sugar Bush Yarns, and I think it was a 50-50 wool alpaca blend. And it she was allergic. The alpaca was too itchy for her. So these are, I think they're called, it's Katia yarn and maybe cotton cashmere. It's 90% cotton and 10% cashmere. And she had wanted cotton mitts, and I'm like, all I am thinking of is sugar and cream, which is it's not nice or anything. And then I was looking through my stash, and I found I had made a shawl out of this a couple years ago, and I have a whole bunch because I am an over purchaser. I always have too much yarn rather than not enough. But and so I found a pattern that had numbers for sport weight. I followed the gusset, and then I sort of did my own thing. So the ribbing is about 2 inches. It's about 2 inches until I got to the gusset. And then the top, the last time I made her mitts, I did a ribbing on the top and a pretty standard cast off, and they were too tight. So I didn't want to do that again, and I don't think she needs ribbing. So what I did is I just sort of did some knits and purls, and then I did the cast off or bind off, where you knit your stitch, you knit the second stitch, and then you knit through whichever, I don't know, the front or the back loop. So it's a little bit stretchy, and it's nice. It'll give her some room, and I really like these. And I just, one of Patty's friends was working at Starbucks, and I was like, I should make fingerless mitts for all of the people who have to work in drive-thrus in the wintertime. I could be like the fingerless mitt lady of Hagerstown. Oh, also, I am from Hagerstown, Maryland. I have 2 kids. a husband. We had to put one of our dogs down yesterday. So I have 1 dog and 7 cats and a grand kitty named Larry. So yeah, we have lots of pets and not a lot of people in our house, but that's okay. All right, now the last thing that I finished is a hat that I told you about for my husband's stepdad, and it's called the 2x2. I'll put the name of the designer, I don't know, somewhere on the screen when my children show me how to edit this, and I will put a picture of the hat maybe right here. Dan tried it on. It looks really nice. It's a beautiful 2x2 rib, and then the decreases made this just gorgeous design on the top. It was a really easy hat. I used Sugar Bush. Oh, I don't remember the name. I'll put it down here. And it's once again, it's that 50% wool and 50% alpaca. And of course, because I always buy too much yarn, I had a whole skein from when I made my mom her mitts and an ear warmer. And I really liked the yarn. It was, I think it's called Intense Indigo is the name of the color. And it's really soft. It's really beautiful. It's like fuzzy, but not crazy fuzzy. And I got it at my local yarn shop called The Yarn Shop. And the last thing I have, which is finished, is some spinning. And this I talked about last time, and this was something that it's like a string. Okay, there's my yarn shop had something there called Big Freakin' Yarn, and I don't remember who it's by, but I'll put it in the show notes, I guess. And it's like that really thick roving, like that you would knit, like arm knit almost or something like that, like those big blankets. And they were sort of saying like, you know, nobody is buying this. And I'm like, well, you can totally spin this. And so I got this. This is their gray. And it's really beautiful. I do not know how many yards or at all, but it's a lot, as you can see. And it ranges, I think, from like a fingering probably to a DK, which, you know, I don't necessarily spin for consistency, although I think I am fairly consistent. This is not going to be for a project, I don't think. I think they're just going to use it to say, hey, if you want to spin, you can use this. And the other thing is, I mean, this is a lot of yarn. There's like a lot of yarn here. And they are, the Big Freakin' Yarn at my yarn shop is $20. So this is like a lot of yarn for $20. And if you are a spinner, I mean, depending on how fine you spin, they're 8 ounces. Each skein of wool is 8 ounces. And so you bought 2 of those, $40. You're getting 4 skeins of yarn. I don't know, that's pretty cheap. And I think if you are maybe like, I'm a medium large when I'm knitting a sweater, and I think I could probably knit a sweater out of 2 of those. So that means for $40, I could spin and knit a sweater. And I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. But that's what I think. And it's made of wool. It doesn't say what kind of wool, and there's nylon. So I think it's like 75-25 or 70-30, something like that. I bought a bunch of it of white. I don't know if I said this last week, that I'm going to try and dye. Yeah, maybe I did, because I don't know if I'm going to dye it before I spin it or after. But I think I bought 3 skeins of it. So that'll be nice to have, because then I can sort of do what I want with it. All right, so those are the things that I finished. I haven't touched the Laughing Cat fibers from last week because I thought I was going to New York this weekend, and like several things happened that like my dog got really sick and we were supposed to get a snowstorm and my mom wasn't feeling awesome and good. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna postpone it. So I haven't touched that, but that'll be my next spinning project. Part of my sort of stash down that I want to do this year is I get the Into the World fiber once a month, and my feeling is that as long as I am spinning at least 4 ounces a month, then I will not be increasing my stash. I can spin 4 ounces a month. I just have to make the time for it, and I think that that's an important thing because I very much enjoy spinning. I enjoy spinning on my traditional wheel and I enjoy spinning on my e-spinner. So I think 4 ounces a month is not that hard, and I can try different techniques. And like I've only done chain plying once, and I really would like to do that more. Oh, and this is spun. This is just a 2-ply. So I've also only done 3-ply once, and there's a lot of different types and styles of plying that I think would be fun. And, you know, like a really true fractal spin, because I've done like kind of wackadoodle fractal spins where I have one chunk and then like 80 billion little tiny pieces. So it might be fun to do something a little bit more structured. I'm not keeping track of any of that. It is not, I mean, maybe at some point it will be of interest to me, but as of right now, I do not keep track of any of it. I am getting, which I'm very excited about, the yarn counter or the yard counter from Dreaming Robots. I was a contributor on their Kickstarter, so that will be coming sometime, I think somewhere between spring and summer, and then I will probably hopefully be better at keeping track of how much wool I have. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so I have 3 things that I am working on. 2 are new, and 1 is something that once sort of Christmas knitting was over, I pulled back out. And it's one of those things that I'm like, oh, I don't really want to work on that. But then once I start working on it, I'm like, I don't know why I don't work on this all the time. So I'm trying to keep that present in my mind so I can finish it. All right, so the first thing I'm working on is a pair of socks. And these are DK socks. And this is here, let's see. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's not this bright, but it's really pretty. And it's a KFI Indulgence hand painted. It's a DK and it's 100% superwash. I know that you should not knit socks out of superwash wool, and I'm doing it anyway because it's my yarn and my socks. And if I get a hole in it, then I will have to learn how to darn, and I'm okay with it. But it's really pretty, and this is what the cake looks like. It's a little bit floppy right now, but it's really, really pretty, and it's fun. And one of my students told me it looks like an Easter egg, and I think actually that depending on how much I have left, I might actually knit some Easter eggs for my sisters-in-law and my sisters for their little people, because it's really pretty. And this is Toe Up. I sort of use the recipe from Wendy Johnson, and I have the book, I think it's called Toe Up Socks by Wendy Johnson. But I also, if you go to wendyknits.net, she has on there a sort of like it's not a spreadsheet, it's a document, but it will tell you, I do toe up socks with a gusset. So it will tell you how many you should cast on, and it will tell you how many you should increase for your gusset, and then it tells you what you need for your heel turn. And I have been very, very pleased with the way that the whole thing works up. This sock, you know, it's the same. And I just, so this one I used, I didn't say this. I used black, and I don't know what it is. I think it might be opal or stroll, just so that it didn't interrupt the striping pattern. So I did my heel turn in black yarn. But yeah, I really like toe-up socks. I like them way better than cuff down. And the things I don't like about cuff down socks are as follows. Three different things. I do not like the feeling of anxiety that I get when I'm afraid that I am twisting my stitches, and so then I will have a Mobius instead of a cuff. I am not a humongous fan of picking up gusset stitches, although I don't absolutely hate it. I think it's just annoying. And I am not in love with the Kitchener stitch. All three of those things are avoided when you do toe-up socks. The other thing I like about toe-up socks is that I can weigh my yarn and use as much of it as possible in order to not waste it. And you can't really do that with cuff down socks because your foot has to be what it is. So your only play is with the length of the leg. So when you do a toe up, you can weigh your yarn to see how long you have to make your leg. So those are the things that I like about toe-up socks. And I also am a magic looper. These are done on a 3. So I don't know. And I cannot read the needles, the things on ChowGoo. I mean, I can see where they are, but I can't read them. But these are a US 3. That's what I'm using. ChowGoo. Red lace is my, it's my fave. I mean, yeah, I really like ChowGoo needles. The cord does not like get loopy and stuff. And I have knit some other things in the round on like Knit Picks cords, and they're fine. Like the needles are fine, the cords are fine. They're just like, I don't know. I find myself like tucking the excess cord or twisting the needles so the cord goes down instead of up and over. And I just don't have those problems with ChowGoo. And I feel like at this point, I have so many just individual fixed needles that I don't know about getting a set, but anyway. All right, the second thing I'm going to show you is my night shift. And this is by, I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to look, have the pattern here. I am a printer of patterns because I like to be able to, I think it's, yeah, Andrea Mallory. I like to be able to touch my patterns. I do not like, sorry about the, there. I don't like digital stuff. I don't like to read on digital. I went to the University of Phoenix for my master's degree, and I printed out every single textbook because I do not like to read online. Okay, anyway, so this is it so far, and it's absolutely beautiful. I am using 2 different balls of Noro Ito, and I am using the pattern directions. Maybe it's Espace Tricot. I'll have to look and see, because they did a shawl. They did this shawl with 2 balls of Noro Ito. So this is, I refer to this as the red one. And then this is the purple one. And I keep them separated in random. This is, you know, various bags. But it's very beautiful, I think. And so the longer it gets, I think, the more that I am appreciating it. And, you know, it's just, the colors are so nice. So I am working on this. This is for me. And I, eventually, it'll probably be July before I finish it, but that's okay. And then the last thing I'm working on is for my mom. And this is the Temperance Shawl. I did not print the first page because It's a lot of color, but it looks sort of like that. You can see there's some striping. I am using Malabrigo sock, I think. Maybe. Let's see. Yep, Malabrigo sock. And I am using, this is Botticelli Red. This is Lettuce. And this is Diana. And I am really excited about this. It's itty bitty baby right now. It's only this big. When I made mine, my sister said it looked like I was knitting a thong. I am not, but that's what it'll look like. It'll look like this for a while. So I'm only on the first section, and yeah, I'm excited about this. This is for my mom for Christmas. So clearly it's a belated Christmas present, but yeah, that's all right. I got this yarn at the Black Sheep Yarn Shop in Timonium, Maryland, which is not super close to me, but it's one of those things where it's not that far, so I could go on a Saturday or something like that. So yeah, so that's the knitting I've done. I've also, a friend of mine, I'm making her a baby blanket, and I started it without asking her about colors, and I'm making it in pastel, and she was interested in something that was a little bit darker. So I went and I got her some yarn that was a little bit darker, and my lovely little children got me a gift card, or two of them did, got me gift cards to the yarn shop, which is our local yarn shop, and I bought some Juniper Moon Farms Patagonia in a really beautiful dark gray color, and I'm going to make myself a sweater. It's a DK weight, although it feels a little thin for DK, and I'm wondering if it will bloom. We'll see. So yeah, that is the knitting. This has been a tough week, friends. We got back into school. I was there today for about an hour and a half. I have rearranged our desks because we needed our desks rearranged. And yeah, but you know, one of the things that we are focusing on for the beginning of the school year, or the beginning of, it's not the school year, but after Christmas break, it's sort of like a new beginning. So one of the things that we are focusing on is sort of like, what is our impact on our community? And the idea, I mean, first graders are still pretty self-centered, and they don't always realize that the things that they do can impact other people. And I don't mean like pushing down or being a bully, but like tapping your pencil or talking, or you know, having stuff all over your desk when it's connected to somebody else's desk. Like, they don't always see some of those things as being impactful to other people. So we're just kind of talking about how everything we do, it is a possibility that it is impacting someone else. And do we want to impact them in a positive way or a negative way? So we're kind of talking about that, and we're talking about science, and we're doing experiments with light, and they really like it. And we're very sad because it's too cold to go outside most days, and my little people need to be able to run around. So we got to figure that out too. But yeah, I mean, I love teaching, and I have realized that I really get to work with some amazing, you know, humans who are 6 and 7 years old. And so I think I will keep on going with it. But anyway, so for next time, I'm hoping, neither of those shawls will be finished. But maybe there'll be a baby blanket cast on, and oh, my daughter bought me really beautiful yarn from Dragonfly Fibers, which I've never had Dragonfly Fibers before. So it was kind of exciting. They went to a shop in Portland, Oregon. And so, yeah, she bought me some beautiful yarn. She got me a solid and then a variegated. And so I think that it'll make a really pretty shawl, like maybe a Pure Joy or something like that. So we'll see. For next time, I'm going to probably still have the shawls. I'll probably still have a baby blanket, and most likely I'll have another pair of socks because I knit while I teach and socks are super easy. I also would like to cast on a flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, and I have some Plymouth yarn that I bought in like I guess a year ago now. So, you know, maybe we'll see if that gets cast on too. As I said, we lost one of our pets last night. It was very sad and very sudden and very yucky, and she's a good girl and we're gonna miss her. And now our dog Elsa has lost 2 friends in the last year. So she's the only dog now, and she's kind of freaking out a little bit, and we're just trying to give her some extra love and giving her things like cookies that she's not normally allowed to have. But she's like kind of looking around, and you know, the one that she's looking around for isn't going to come back. So that's a little hard. And we've had Larry here. So we've had 8 cats and 2 dogs, one who is really sick. It's been a crazy, crazy week. And tomorrow we start again, and we'll see how it goes. One of the very awesome things that I have learned in my life is that no matter how bad your day is, you get to start it again whenever you want to. So I hope you guys are doing well. Be safe, and yeah, all those things. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.